All right, so from road rebel to road revivalist before he became a pastor, Les Isaacs was a gang member in the United Kingdom, but now he's the founder of Street Pastor. And he's joined by the National Operations Coordinator, Rhea Allert, who's a street pastoress. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Welcome to Smile Jamaica. Great to meet you, sir.
Thank you.
Based in London, but you're not Jamaican, are you?
No, but I was heavily influenced by Jamaica.
Where are you from?
I'm from Antigua.
How long have you been in London or in the UK?
Well, UK, 54 years.
54 years. When you say heavily influenced by Jamaica and Jamaicans, how?
You know, back in the late 60s, early 70s, a lot of us as, Windrush generation, we went with our parents, and we were looking at, who are we? So the whole issue and notion of identity was a massive thing for us because, we were Caribbean 1 minute and now we're English, British, not accepted. Who are we? That was a big question. And who gave us clarity about that was Jamaica. The message coming out of Jamaica, the music, the whole message about being black, being proud, get up, stand up for your right, all these things really helped form this. And one of the big things for me was, there was a positive message about being black, being proud of yourself. So Rastafarian, really appealed to us. And it gave us a strong sense. So now, even now, when I speak patois, it's Jamaican. But it was interesting for me, and I say to the guys here, that Jamaica is probably the most influential Caribbean country in the Caribbean. And I can say that as a non-Jamaican. I go to Papua New Guinea, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, and you just have to say, yeah, man. And everybody just respect
What led you to be a part of a gang?
Well, what led me was, the context. The context, it was, the song, fight it on arrival, fight it for survival. Yeah. When we arrived in Britain, you had to be part of something because people just eat you alive. People abuse you. And I was looking for a family, that identity, the same thing that we're seeing today. And it led me to be part of that because it gave me a sense of purpose and protection and identity. And it just led into all sorts of things.
Yeah. I don't forget you. I'll come into in a second, Rhea. What led you out of that?
What led me out of it was a straightforward gospel message. My father and my mother were divorced when I was 7, which had a major impact on me. And my father decided to come back and live at home with us. But it was tricky because my father wasn't one of those guys who was relating and talking and with his son. And we had a massive argument. And my father and I said to my dad, listen, I'm a Rasta, I don't deal with violence, but I'll kill you. So I was going to go buy a machete and I was going to come home and kill my father that evening. But I met a Nigerian guy, and he just finished 3 years studying theology. And I asked him, because I always wanted to go to Africa, what did he do? But he didn't tell me what he did. He didn't tell me about Africa. He told me about Jesus. And we had a conversation that really turned my whole thinking, my anger around. And 4 days later, I was on my knees praying and saying, listen, God, I don't believe in this white man, Jesus, but if you're real, help me. And that was the start of my conversion.
You are an ordained pastor?
Yes, I am, and I've been ordained for over 30 years.
Okay. Rhea?
Yes, sir.
Where is the connection? Because you are local.
Yes.
Been going on for about 6 years.
Yes.
So
Street Pastors, Pastor Les had come on sabbatical here to Jamaica and was really influenced by what he saw pastors doing in the ministers fraternal in Trenchtown. And it actually became the birth of what became Street Pastors in the UK. They've been going for how many years?
17 years.
17 years. And about 6 years ago, it really came home here to Jamaica. So we started in Halfway Tree. We also expanded to Augusttown. We've been serving for 6 years come February 7th. We've served over 5,600 people.
What started in Halfway Tree?
You know what? We looked at Halfway Tree and we thought it was a good location because everybody, every kind of person comes through Halfway Tree as a transport center. People are up late. There's a nightlife. There are all these schoolers, teachers, economy. Everything is happening in this space. And we thought, okay, it would be a good location for us to just branch out and just really get to know people and talk to the community and see how they're doing, support them. We do a lot of listening, caring, helping, practical things. And then, of course, also spiritual aspects. We pray for people. We talk to them about.
Street pastor means you don't have a physical space that you go sit down with people, or you just go on the road.
We just go on the road. We go on the road.
That's what it means?
Yes, our emphasis is caring, listening, and helping. Mm-hmm. Because we felt that, so often there's a perception that the church, all it does is have prayer meetings and stay there.
Right.
And, you know, I say to the church, folks in church, I said, listen, guys, Jesus didn't call us just to sit in church and get woodworm in our posterior. He's called us to go out to be salt and light and meet people where they're at. Don't tell people just to come, get out there. And don't go with a 4x4 Bible to beat people up over the head. Go and get to know the real person. Understand where they're coming from, and when you get to know them. So we go on patrol. In England, we go on patrol from 10 o'clock at night to 4 in the morning. And people are always amazed. You come out here, you're from all the different churches, you don't get paid for it, and you're willing to do this.
Go on patrol to do what? What do you do?
Well, we just meet, you know, when you go outside, whether halfway through London, you go out and people say, who are you? We say, we're street pastors. You know, from which church are you from? We said, all of them. And we spend up to 2 hours talking to an individual who are just unpacking, whether it's relationship with their girlfriends or boyfriend, whether it's bereavement, whether it's bad time at work. We just listen to people.
How easy is that to get people to listen? You have pastors on the buses, and then the
It is
buses
very
say, we don't want a pastor on the bus.
It's actually surprising because you'd expect that there would be attention. People come up to us all the time, and it's of their own volition. You know, we don't necessarily go and force people to talk to us. They see us. Some people watch us over weeks, and then they say, you know what, tonight is my night. I'm going to talk to you tonight.
Yeah.
So the feedback has been really good in terms of just our team just being available to serve people in the public space in this way.
So, Pastor Les, without the one-on-one interaction, do you just go out there and preach and people stop and listen?
I think, you know, just for the clarity of the viewers, is that, you know, when people hear about street pastors, they usually think about someone with a 4x4 Bible telling them they're going to hell.
Yeah.
This is not street pastors. Street pastors, although we share Jesus, but the person is number one first. That's the number one thing. And so people observe us and watch us, and we go, and they come to us and say, hey, listen, I like what you guys do, because we're helping. Sometimes we help people who are hungry, people who are distressed. We just help them on the street, whether they're homeless. We just sit with them and talk with them. And when people observe that, people realize that we're completely different from the street preachers.
Yep.
I want to point out,
yeah,
we don't preach. In Halfway Tree, we're there from 8 o'clock until midnight. We don't preach. People just know that we're there. We interact, we talk, we help, we laugh, we have jokes. And it's just a very easy relating. It's about building the relationship with people over time.
Yeah.
And if we have the opportunity to, they will ask us to share our faith with them.
Yep. I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not certain that all pastors, if any, are counselors. So if I come to you with something that maybe just a little bit outside of the church, how do you know you're, leading me the right way and stuff?
Well, we have signposts. So we have trained counselors. So we are the introduction, but we signpost people. So if someone's, really got a complex issue, we say, okay, let's have your mobile number, listen, and then we refer them to someone who's
So if
qualified.
I come to you and say, boy, I'm fighting, I feel I want to kill myself and stuff, you know where to lead me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have success stories?
We absolutely do. Actually, within our first year, suicide came up as a very serious thing. We had about 7 suicide interventions just in year one.
Yeah.
Just in year
Do
one.
you know of anyone that you would have spoken to and then them jump in and say, I want to become a street pastor?
Yes, we do have. We do have people who have.
Fantastic.
And in England, we have, from street pastors, we now operate on the train stations, on the trains.
Right.
And the reason why, because the police and the authorities recognize our ability to engage with people, and we go on the trains and on the train station because we are preventing people from committing suicide.
Yeah.
We now have something called response pastors. So when we have the terrorist incidents or the big fire in Grenfell Towers, our guys were supporting the ambulance crew, the fire brigade, the police, and the community.
Fantastic.
And so in Manchester, we led the family to the flower garden because they recognize we're the soft touch in terms of relationships.
Fantastic. Why Jamaica? You're from Antigua. Why Jamaica?
Well, as I said, Jamaica is probably, for me, the most significant country in the Caribbean. And if we could get something right in Jamaica, we could get it right across the Caribbean and the rest of the world.
Have you got it right?
We're getting it. We're trying. We're on the right road. And that's why I've just come in. And I leave today, but that's why I've come in, just to, refocus with these guys to see how we get it right.
Yeah. You said Halfway Tree from morning till night?
From 8 p.m. to midnight.
Every day?
Every Friday.
Every Friday?
Every Friday
Where else
night.
are you?
Mainly in Halfway Tree right now. Okay. As we train throughout this year, we want to be able to stretch to other areas, so we're looking at prepping some amount of engagement again in Augustown.
Yeah, I don't know if I know I asked Pastor Liz, I don't know if I asked you. Maybe I'm having a senior moment. Are you an ordained?
No, I'm not an ordained pastor, and you don't need to be. You just need to be a Christian willing to serve. We actually do street pastors training here. We start our next training cohort on the 28th of February. So we're inviting people to just contact us. We're at streetpastorsja@gmail.com. Our phone number is 876-521-9461. Give us a call. We're training, and you can just be a part of what God is doing.
If you're already a Christian, does the denomination matter?
No.
So
we have over
Catholic,
57 denominations,
Fantastic.
57 churches represented within our volunteer movement.
Great to meet you. Great to meet you, sir.
Thank you very much.
This
Thank
football team you like in England?
Arsenal, of course.
No, man, that man is the greatest man in the world. He's the greatest team in the world.
Yeah.
I just vexed that they got rid of Arsene Wenger. I still think he's been better than all of them. Good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
And I think Arteta will do well.
Yes.
He's doing well.
Yeah.
From Street Pastor, founder, Pastor Les Isaacs, and National Operations Coordinator, not pastor, it's just real alert.